I came to realize that I have more to offer this world than just making things that blow up.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at how film adaptations of Marvel Comics characters have changed over time.
I can do better, I can change.
Not that simple.
Marvel may have been the undisputed king of the box office in the 2010s, but that wasn't always the case. The road the studio took to dominance and cultural ubiquity in the 21st century included numerous incarnations of its iconic comic book characters.
Stark, you know that's a one-way trip.
In particular, the financial troubles Marvel Entertainment Group faced in the 90s led to it licensing the film rights to many of its most popular characters. This would result in an abundance of films featuring Marvel characters that varied wildly in popularity and quality. The first time many people saw a live-action Marvel character was in the 1977 TV film The Incredible Hulk, which also acted as a pilot for a series of the same name. The show featured Bill Bixby as David Bruce Banner and Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk.
Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
The popular pairing returned for 3 further TV movies after the show's conclusion. The big green guy finally got a chance at a theatrical adaptation in 2003 with the release of Ang Lee's Hulk. Starring Eric Bana, the auteur director's take on the character divided critics. After plans for a sequel were scrapped, a new film with Edward Norton was released, with Ferrigno returning to voice the Hulk.
Hulk! Smash!
The Incredible Hulk included a post-credits scene featuring Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, helping to usher in the burgeoning Marvel Cinematic Universe. While Hulk didn't receive another solo film outing during the 2010s due to complications with rights at Universal, the character played by Mark Ruffalo would become a key figure in the Avengers saga.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry.
Just as the Bill Bixby Hulk films were airing on NBC, another Marvel character was given his first chance to shine on screen.
I punish the guilty.
A low-budget film based on the Punisher comics and starring Dolph Lundgren was intended to be released in cinemas in 1989. However, in the US, the film was pushed to a straight-to-VHS and Laserdisc release. The character wouldn't appear again on screen until 2004. This iteration gave Frank Castle back his trademark skull shirt, but disappointed at the box office. Even then, Marvel had designs on crossing over its film characters, just as was common in the comics.
Frank Castle is dead. Call me the Punisher.
There were reportedly plans for Thomas Jane, who played the Punisher, to play a part in Spider-Man 2. A tangled web of film rights prevented Jane from appearing. However, Jane's stunt double has a sneaky cameo in the film. A sequel was in the works, but never came together. Instead, Marvel rebooted the property, this time with actor Ray Stevenson in the title role.
You call that a plan? It's all I need.
Punisher Warzone was the last big screen appearance of the Punisher before he found new life on Netflix. The character got his own spin-off after appearing on the streamer's hit show Daredevil, another Marvel character with repeat appearances.
I think there's no good in the filth that I put down, that's what I think.
And how do you know? I just know.
That Devil of Hell's Kitchen first appeared in live action on television in The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, which was intended to serve as a backdoor pilot for a Daredevil show. This wouldn't come together. In 2003, he'd get his own film starring Ben Affleck as the Man Without Fear, but neither audiences nor critics were impressed. Various attempts to reboot the franchise fell apart until the Netflix show premiered in 2015. Following the show's cancellation, many fans feared Charlie Cox would be recast, but his appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home seemed to confirm he would continue to wear the cowl in the MCU.
How did you just do that?
I'm a really good lawyer.
To really get the full breadth of Marvel cinematic adaptations, we have to go all the way back to 1944. The first ever film to star a Marvel Comics character was released as a 15-part serial starring Captain America, back when Marvel was still known as Timely Comics.
This is Captain America.
What's that? Where are you?
Never mind that. Professor Lyman's life is in danger.
Fast forwarding past the black and white era, Cap's next appearance was in 1979 in a pair of made-for-TV films. The second boasted Christopher Lee in a villainous role. That was followed by an unrelated adaptation in 1990, which received a limited UK theatrical release. Notably, the film starred Matt Salinger, the son of American novelist J.D. Salinger.
Mr. President! Thanks.
plans for another Captain America film circulated for decades. When Marvel began to produce its own films, he was near the top of the list. This came to fruition in 2011 with Captain America: The First Avenger.
How'd you feel?
Taller.
Chris Evans became the flag bearer for the character, appearing in 11 movies. The mantle was then passed to Anthony Mackie, slated to appear as the new Captain America in Brave New World.
Thank you. I'll do my best.
While many adaptations of Marvel properties saw some level of success during the 20th century, everything changed with the release of X-Men in 2000. The film's comparatively large $75 million budget paid dividends, as it raked in over $296 million worldwide. It pleased critics and fans alike, though the movie differs quite a bit from the style and standards of later X-Men films.
You actually go outside in these things? What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
After 2 direct sequels with the same cast, the franchise began a new prequel series with X-Men First Class. While some characters would come and go, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine was a constant. He starred in several spin-off films, including the acclaimed Logan.
I've heard people too.
You're gonna have to learn how to live with that.
Patrick Stewart would also return as an alternate version of Professor X in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Other X-Men franchise characters have gotten the film treatment, including Deadpool, portrayed by Ryan Reynolds.
They can't just dust off one of the famous X-Men. How about that Potts with the giant pigeon wings? What do those do anyway, huh? Carry him 3 feet off the ground to snatch up the nearest muffin crumb?
A Marvel team that's had a rockier road to success is the Fantastic Four. Marvel's first family was meant to headline its first film in 1992, a low-budget adaptation executive produced by Roger Corman and Bernd Eichinger. However, the film was never actually released, and rumors swirled that it was only made to keep Eichinger from losing the rights.
Besides, we are the Fantastic Four, right?
Marvel eventually struck a deal with 20th Century Fox to create a proper big-budget Fantastic Four film. The movie received a tepid critical response, but did enough business at the box office to merit a sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer. The mixed reviews were not enough to keep the franchise going, and the characters stayed off the big screen until a reboot in 2015. Unfortunately, that adaptation was hailed by some as one of the worst films ever made.
I think that the 4 of us should have a name.
Why would we need a name?
Because we're a team now, and there's 4 of us, so we should come up with a name for it.
When Disney purchased Fox in 2019, the rights to both Fantastic Four and the X-Men returned to Marvel. Shortly after, the studio began planning to incorporate the Fantastic Four into the MCU. All of these characters have had multiple incarnations and are important in the development of the superhero film genre. However, one stands above the others, or rather, he web-slings above them. Spider-Man first showed up in 1977 in a made-for-TV film that served as a pilot for a CBS series. A few sequels linked to the series and a version spun off from the Japanese television adaptation were released shortly after. Then, all went quiet for decades.
Spider-Manに休息はない.
A theatrical film became trapped in a development maze. A number of failed ideas, including a James Cameron version with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Doc Ock, never moved forward. Then, finally, Sam Raimi, known for his campy horror flicks, directed a version starring Tobey Maguire.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
The 2002 film was a sensation. It was followed by an even more successful sequel that in many ways established the tone and style of the yet-to-be-conceived MCU. A third film was more divisive, but that didn't slow down plans for the 4th installment, which went into pre-production.
I've done terrible things too.
Rumors about casting included John Malkovich and Anne Hathaway. Sony wanted a quick turn for Spidey 4. After giving in to studio demands on the 3rd film, Raimi wasn't willing to rush to meet the 2011 release date. He and Maguire quit, and the film was scrapped. Eager to keep the rights, Sony rebooted the franchise with Andrew Garfield in the webbed suit. However, its dreams of launching a cinematic universe to rival the MCU were short-lived.
To remind us of who we are, and of who we're meant to be.
After 2 films, a leaked info and email scandal, and the cancellation of a planned 3rd film and Sinister Six spin-off, a historic deal was struck between Sony and Disney. The agreement allowed the studios to work together and bring a new version of the character into the MCU.
a metal arm? That is awesome, dude!
First appearing in Captain America: Civil War, Tom Holland's Peter Parker became an Avenger and starred in a massively successful trilogy. Spider-Man: No Way Home even brought Holland, Garfield, and Maguire all together in a spectacle that had audiences literally cheering.
You know, it's what we do.
And at the same time, Sony has made animated Spider-Verse films featuring Miles Morales, which have become a cultural phenomenon. There is so much more to the story of Marvel than just the characters we've mentioned so far. The first ever Marvel character to get his own live-action feature film was actually Howard the Duck in the ill-fated 1986 film produced by George Lucas.
That's it. No more Mr. Nice Duck.
Don't feel too bad for Howard, though. He would later cameo in the Guardians of the Galaxy films.
What do you let it lick you like that for? Gross.
The Blade trilogy starring Wesley Snipes also had a hand in proving that comic book films could be financially successful and popular with audiences. And while current versions of characters may seem like the definitive rendition, for example, Nick Fury as played by Samuel L. Jackson, past films are littered with alternate portrayals, like David Hasselhoff's take on the S.H.I.E.L.D. leader.
I danced on your poisonous father's grave. I'll dance on your grave too, sweetness.
Over the years, countless actors have played Marvel heroes, and going forward, many more will surely play them again. We've already seen the return of a number of legacy versions of these characters, and with Disney's universe-collapsing ambition, we'll likely witness more. Let us know which versions of these characters were your favorites in the comments below.
It's over!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.